And I'm going to say this to everybody. Before you start anything, make sure that it's actually what you want to buy. Don't buy something that a salesman is pushing on you just to make them feel good.
I want you guys to understand, like, scamming it's real. Make sure that they're real. Number one, fact check them. Say, hey, I need to get on a FaceTime with you. If they're saying they're too busy to get on FaceTime. Everybody has this, and they can get on FaceTime, and you can act and see if they're real. What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the #1 tiny home podcast in the world, powered by Saddlebrook Life. Today, we got two amazing home expert guests of our own, and we've got Colton, the CEO of Saddlebrook Life. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about 9 different things. So, Colton, go and share. What are those 9 things that we're going to talk about today?
Before we get to the things that we're going to talk about, let's talk about
the man
getting these guys. Zeke. So Zeke's the guy behind the camera. We finally got him in front of the camera. And then Trace, he's our brother. He's 18, going to be 19 next year. He's been with us since the very beginning. Trace started out
2018.
Trace started out. He was the very first one that was
employee number one,
helping with the delivery. He's probably delivered more homes than anybody in this room, and he knows he could, he's 18 years old. He could probably deliver these houses by themselves if he would be 21 years old in a CDL.
Let's just say we have some crazy stories of me and him delivering these houses with no license.
Some near-death experiences as well.
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
And so just to get these guys in front of the camera to tell you guys their stories. Yeah. Trace, you have anything to say?
Trace, just so the audience knows who you are, like your age. You've been in the company since you're 18. It was
started 13? At 13.
Yeah, just share who you are, and then now what are you doing?
Yep. So 13, first college started, back 5 years ago. First thing, I was still in school, just still doing my books. I would get my books done in the morning as quick as possible, and then hop on the delivery truck with you. Ever since 13, I've just been following these guys, older brother, my dad, just learning as much as I can. That way, just basically setting myself up whenever I get to 21, I'm already going to have, a couple houses, doing some investments, and just doing the most that I can, and learning the most that I can.
And so now you work in sales, so you're one of the sales experts. And how many? I mean, you sell multiple homes a month, but the thing is that you've learned the building trade of how to build houses, the right questions to ask, which we're going to be going over some questions. We have 9 things to go over. Number 1, we're going to be going over how much does the actual Saddlebrook home cost? How long does it take for us to build a Saddlebrook home? What areas do we deliver our homes to? Do we finance our homes, and what kind of financing do we offer? How are the cabins? How are the houses classified? Are they under the IRC code? Are they under the IBC code? Can we go into city limits? What options do I have if you want to customize your house? What options do we offer? And then how is a Saddlebrook home delivered and installed? Which we're going to go back to you, Trace. And then where are the Saddlebrook homes built? They're built here in DeKalb. We're going to be going over that. And then what are the requirements to actually start building a new house? So if you guys are interested in building or buying a house, what are the requirements that you're going to be having to go through? It's permits, it's what actually classifies you as a qualified buyer, because you can't just put these in the middle of Dallas. So we're going to be going over that.
Yeah, and guys, if anyone, just take 5 seconds. Anyone that's watching this, hit the share button. If there's someone in your family, someone that that would benefit from this podcast, we talk about everything that's going on in the world, pop down to really the affordable interest rates, everything like that. But if this topic, these 9 questions is really the top 9 questions that we get. So if there's any questions that you guys have that you would want to ask us, go ahead, drop those in the comments, or send us a direct message, and we will talk about those topics later in one of our podcasts. So, hey, I just want to say thank you for watching our podcast. Without you guys, this would not be possible. So keep going.
Going into the first question, I'll go to you, Zeke. how much does a Saddlebrook home cost? Like, what's the average? Let's go from like a 1 bedroom, 1 bath to a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Let's share with our listeners what's the average Saddlebrook home cost?
So when it comes to price, it's pretty complicated because we can't just give you a price, right?
Okay.
We have so many different factors when it comes to us selling something or building something, because we have different types of sidings, we got different types of interiors, we got so many different options for you guys. So number one, we need to know a size you're looking for. If you're looking for something small, something 240 square feet, or you're looking for something 3 bedroom, 1,200 square feet, right? So there's a big gap in between there. Also, the types of sidings we have outside. We have the regular LP Smart siding, we got the lap siding, we got board and batted, and then we have the log siding. So that's a big factors, right? Also, the interior. When it comes to interior, what type of cabinets do you want? What type of you want granite countertops, or you want regular Formica countertops? Well, there's many options that we do offer, so that it varies on when it comes to price. So we could tell you what's our most popular, but sometimes us telling you a price just scares you away, and then sometimes you don't even need that, right? There's a lot of people that call me. It's like, no, I want the 1,200 square foot home. I need to have the 1,200 square foot home. And then we go through all the fact finding, and we come to find out they actually need a 14 by 40 or 12 by 32.
Just a 1 bedroom, 1 bath.
Most popular.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I come and tell you, you know what, a 1,200 square foot home is going to be $130,000. Boom. Automatically you shut down. You forget to listen. You forget everything. And that's a home that you don't even need.
Right.
Yeah. When we could get you on a 14 by 40, I don't know.
I would say the biggest thing is figuring out what are your needs, because these homes, once you step in these homes, like a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, they're most popular ones. 1652s are most popular 2 bedroom, 2 bath. Once you step in, it's really all you need. You don't even need the 1,200 square feet.
That's a good point. I mean, like I said, everything comes down to what you need, right?
Yeah.
Because my wife needs a 6 bedroom home, 5 bathrooms, pool in the back. You know, I really need a 18 by 60 that we live in, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, and I think it's still too big. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it just depends what you need.
Yeah. So you actually live in one of our houses.
Absolutely. And it's one of the best ideas, like the best things that could ever happen to me, because I have the perfect space.
Right.
I have a big couch in the living room. We got a dining table finally. Yeah. We have a kid in one of the bedrooms. I have my office in another bedroom. Yeah. And then we have our master bedroom with its walk-in closet. I mean, it's just perfect.
Did you get a king bed in the master bedroom?
I currently have a queen size bed, but you could definitely fit on a king size.
Okay. So going back to the, like, what's the actual home cost? There's, like you said, there's a few different factors, but what I want to touch on is the actual appraisal of the house versus, we've seen the last 30 days. Yeah, is we had a contract price for 116.
Yeah, tell us about that one, about the one that went to Arkansas.
The one in Arkansas, yeah, we did what was it, 18 by 60?
No, 16.
Was it
1640?
Which one was it?
Evan.
Yeah, 16 by 44 contract price was below 120, and appraisal came back at, I believe, 145,000. So there's so much equity already built into the price that you're actually making money. You can actually, if you finance it, you can actually pull that money out and pay yourself if you want to. So going back to the price, our average price, I would say, Trace, would start at around 55,000-60,000
for the smallest
one. And I think the most highest we've ever sold, and it was very custom, was right at 190,000, which was very custom, and it had a long delivery route. But if you go by the price per square foot, and that was 1,200 square feet, let's go by the price by square foot. You're still well below $200 a square foot, which in today's world, Kyler, you're building a house right now. What are you going to have in it? And you're building it yourself. So you're accruing all of those costs without a general contractor, without all of that. And it takes a year. We're going to add that in there. You've been working on it since last year.
Yeah, I'm going to have over $500,000 in it. And just that, but per square, are you asking?
Per square foot, a traditional house, you have well in the 200s.
Right, I'm
25
right.
last
Doing
time
it
I
myself.
checked.
Yeah, I'm right at the 170, 180.
But what people also don't, and this goes into the cost of the house.
It's not only that,
is
time too.
It's the construction loan cost that you're paying
I'm paying
interest
interest every month.
Yep. And people don't factor that into the home buying cost. You know, if you draw out and you're just paying interest only payments, you might be paying $1,500, $2,000 a month while still paying your other mortgage or rent while you're building that, and that adds up over a whole year. That could be $20,000, $30,000 extra just in interest.
And then also a big factor on that. I mean, you build homes. You know all about the construction world, right? So when someone comes in and gives you a bid or whatever, one of your contractors, you know if they're playing you right or wrong.
100%.
When you're building something and you don't know, I've never been involved with building a home.
You think that's cheap?
Contractors, dude, I'm telling you, contractors are something else. They will tell you something costs $100, and then when they actually need to buy it and put it in your home, it's actually cost $300-$400.
Yeah,
because there's no installation fees. There's so many different factors, right? I come from the construction world, so we used to go in there and bid a house. We're gonna do this deck for $20,000.
Yeah.
Once we were said and done, they spent $35,000
in change orders.
in change orders. I don't like this. You know what? That wood is cheap.
I've seen that so many
God.
times where a contractor would, and then you end up spending 30-40 grand after you close. Yeah,
Insane.
Let's keep. We're
So
limited
going
time.
back to the average, we're going to keep going, but going back to the average, I would say we're right at 110, 120,000 on average, $100,000, somewhere around that. And then if you put that on let's say you put that on a 30-year mortgage, that's below $1,000 a month.
Yep.
And right now, I don't care if you live, I live in Texarkana, a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment right now, which is it's a townhome. It starts at $1,200 to $1,400.
That's not even the big. I was talking to some people. The rent starts at $2,500 now, so it's even going up.
So in just retrospective, how much does our homes cost versus rent versus a traditional house that you buy just that's already pre-built?
Yep.
Your payment is going to be, and let's say you go with the highest unit we're going to be able to build you, $1,500 and less. Depending 100%. On what your credit is, there's a lot of other factors in.
100%.
And you build equity the day that you sign the contract.
And guys, you don't have to finance. If you want to pay cash, you can pay cash.
Yeah. But most people these days, they want to finance.
Yeah.
I want to go to
interest rates. Interest rates just dropped, which we'll talk about that in our fourth question. But yeah, go ahead.
So I want to go to you, Trace. How long does it take to build a saddlebrook house?
So depending on if you get just a shell, so there's 3 different options that we offer. We got just a shell, if you want to do some of the work yourself, or we can do, halfway cut, because we're a very custom home builder. So we can do just your plumbing, electrical, spray foam installation, framing. And if you want to, say stop there, I want to take it on from there. The shell process takes roughly 2 to 4 weeks. And then the halfway process, you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks. And then if you're wanting a fully custom turnkey home, and you can even do your own custom floor plan, we're looking at 4 to 5 months, roughly. Maybe even quick. We're overproduction, so we're hoping to get that down to 3 months.
Which we are. We're like
production.
We try to keep everything under 90 days, but we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. That's our mottos. We still
want to build a quality home.
Yeah, right. I would rather tell you 4 to 6 months and then deliver it in 90 days versus telling you 90 days and it takes 4 to 6 months.
Right.
So that's why we tell everybody it's 4 to 6 months, because if we're ready in 90 days, great. You can have you can be moved into your house.
There was a point where we were pumped. We were getting them out, because if we start on your home, it doesn't actually take us that long. It's just the wait time. Our waiting list. Our waiting list is so long right now, and I encourage anyone that's in the buying process right now, get on the waiting list, because the waiting list is getting longer and longer.
It's crazy,
yeah,
dude.
The waiting list is getting longer and longer.
And it's just because of the economy. I mean, you people, we hear it every day. I mean, you especially you two, you hear it every day of how, people, they can't afford their groceries. They want to start owning a house, and, people talk about it every day on the news right now of, the young people in their 20s, they can't afford a house. And so we get a lot of people in their 20s, first-time home buyers.
But let me say something real quick.
Okay.
It's crazy because there's people that come in here and it's like, yeah, I cannot afford buying a house. Okay, so where are you going to live? You have to live somewhere.
Right.
And then you're paying rent.
And they still check your credit if you go
start at $1,500, dude.
Right.
$1,500. There's people paying $2,000 a month.
And it's not going towards ownership at all. It's not going to take anything.
Nothing.
That's the biggest awakening that people have to realize is it's time to invest in yourself. Buy a starter home that you can afford, that you're going to pay the same amount in rent, and start building wealth with an asset. You have assets and liabilities because you have to live. You have to live somewhere. So going back over that, how long does it take us? So for a shell, it takes us 2 to 4 weeks. For a 75%, what we call it 75%, the plumbing, your electrical, your spray foam installation, your interior walls are done. We can stop there. That takes anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. And then for a total finish out custom home, anywhere from 4 to 6 months. That's really where it's taken. So if you have any questions on that, the wait list for the total finish out custom homes is getting longer and longer, which we're on the back end. We're getting faster. We're
expanding.
We're expanding
again.
Expanding. Because we see the huge need in affordable homes, which is what we love to do, is build the dreams and transform lives. So can we go to question, Colton, I'm going to ask you this. Question number 4, do we offer finance? And if we, and what kind of financing do we have?
So we have a few different ones, like your sheds and shells. We have a rent to own up to $35,000, no credit checks. Then for your, we also do have on the shells. We also do have a finance company that we work with that goes up to $100,000 that we can do it's a personal loan that we can do. We get people approved all the time, anywhere from a 5.99% interest rate to a 12%, depending on what your credit score is, your debt to income ratio. You can buy down the rates. And then we go to a 30-year mortgage for anything above a 600 square foot house. We can offer a 30-year mortgage on that. After, there's qualifications that you have to have, like owning your land, and some other things that you have to have, but you can put a 30-year mortgage on our houses because after we're done, they're considered real property. And real property is you can have an appraisal come in and appraise that house, and, the appraisal office and the title company will actually, it's a traditional permanent foundation house. After we set it on, we tie it down to a concrete foundation, and we can write a 30-year mortgage. And then, that's where the affordability comes in, because you're expanding your payments over 30 years. Well, obviously they're going to be cheaper than if you would get a 10-year loan or a 20-year loan. But
there is a lot of people that don't want to have a 30-year mortgage, and we could come down as 5-year mortgage, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, 30 years, depending on how much you want to pay monthly and how fast you want to get out.
And also how much, do you want to put more down? Do you want to pay it off in 5 years? Yeah. Great. You can pay down the principal. Yeah.
We hear a lot of people though that say, well, I don't have land right now. What, in some instances, we've had their parents or their family deed them land, sell them land. So talk a little bit about.
So you can sell a piece of, let's say your family owns it, Kyler. You can sell Zeke a piece of property for $1.
Half an acre, $1, like half an acre, an
right.
acre.
We should do it one day live, dude. Yeah. Just sell me something like $1, and then we'll show the people how it's done. Right? What do you guys think?
Yeah. No.
Let's go to question number 4, and I'll ask you this, Zeke. What areas do we all deliver? Because our social media is like we're getting all these calls in from everywhere. What all areas do we deliver our homes to, and what areas can we not deliver to?
Okay, so currently we are in the Northeast Texas, so it's super easy and very flexible, and we're very, very familiar with the main 4 areas, which would be Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, right? But we could, basically everything in the East we could do for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
Everything in the South.
Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado. Most of those states, New Mexico, I don't know if I mentioned that. Most of those states we can get into. If you're in another state like South Carolina, North Carolina, Iowa, those are 3 more states that we delivered to. Am I missing any? I might be missing some. I'm not sure. But most of the states are in the surrounding areas that we can deliver to.
No problem.
Yeah. But but areas up like New York and Vermont, like it's too hard for the bridges and everything because of our pitches.
It's not even that. It's just the delivery costs. We don't want to sell, let's say New York, the delivery costs and the cost of fuel and permits, and you have to buy a permit in each state, sometimes in each county.
Which just wouldn't make sense.
Well, it wouldn't make sense for the end buyer because they would have 50, 60,000 in delivery, and you can't. There's not enough equity in the house to add to that.
Yeah, right.
So we don't want to sell you a product that you're going to be upside down in the time that you sign a contract.
And that's as of now, right? Because
right.
as we expand,
as we expand different locations as far as facilities and stuff like that, we want to get the delivery cost down as much as possible. That way we're delivering 2, 3, 4, 500 miles away from each facility. And that's very doable. Like, I mean, the other day, Kyler, we delivered.
Share the story with the customer. She came in from Mississippi. All the way, she literally drove in all the way from Mississippi, guys.
Made it a road trip.
A road trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell her how, I believe that we changed her life, but can share that story for a couple minutes. Let's go.
Yeah. So Miss Terry, she came in off of so she found us on TikTok. Yeah. She gives me a call late. It was on a weekend. She gives me a call. I answer. And she was like, I'm just confirming that you guys are real.
Yeah.
Because
guys, just look at the CEO of Saddlebrook Live. We have a lot of things going on. We're still answering our phone calls. We're still it's 6:00 on a weekend and she's calling in.
Right. And so there's a lot of people out there that, they're scamming people. And so, I always advise to my listeners, to the people that follow us and listen to us, is always check. Say, hey, can I do a tour of your facility? Can you FaceTime me? Can I come to your facility? Can I come check you guys out? If you, like I said earlier, if you show up and it's their house, it's probably not a best option to buy from them.
Yes, and it's something super important to do because we have a lot of amazing pictures that we're getting, they're stealing them from our Facebooks and stuff, they're posting them, dude. Yeah. There's a guy that they scammed for $15,000 because they posted
one of our customers.
Yeah, one of our buildings.
I want to take just a quick break, and Colton, I want to get back to that story. I really want you to tell that full story. But I want you guys to understand right now, scamming it's real.
It's real.
So before you buy, no matter if you're in a state that we can't deliver to, we don't deliver to now, make sure that they're real. Number one, fact check them. Say, hey, I need to get on a FaceTime with you, or I need to get on something, not a video. If they're saying they're too busy to get on FaceTime, everybody has this, and they can get on FaceTime, and you can act and see if they're real. Number two is, how are you paying them? If you're paying them over Cash App or they're taking a credit card and you haven't fact checked them yet, and make sure that they're real and look at the reviews. And they're just asking
for a deposit.
Look at the reviews.
And then go on Google and see if they have any Google reviews.
Right.
And then look on the Google Earth and you can see if they have a facility or not.
There's so much scamming going on. I just about got scammed on the weekend and I'm like, this was real. It's these scammers are out there. So make sure you're fact checking. Make sure you're doing your everything.
And the best, and I say the best thing is actually, if you have time, drive to the location.
That's the best thing. Yeah,
that's the best.
Number one.
It's worth the flight.
Look at the quality. Look at going back to the story of Miss Terry. She drove in from Mississippi. Took her 2 days to get here. She has a small RV that she pulled behind her Ford 4Runner, and she made a whole trip out of it on the weekend. And she came in, spent a half a day with us. We customized her floor plan, got her the right colors, and it was an awesome experience for both of us. And, it took less than 90 days. We delivered it to Mississippi, and it was an awesome experience. Yep. And, she's been living on the road for, I believe, a few years now, and she finally decided, hey, I'm going to go check these guys out. I want to, she moved from, I think, Missouri down to Mississippi to be closer to her daughter. And so her daughter had some land that allowed her mom to put, on a tiny home. So she's close to her daughter now, can be with her grandkids. And it's just an awesome experience to learn of these stories that our social media got in front of her. She did the right thing. She said, I'm going to come down and check you guys out. Not just saying, hey, let me wire over $50,000. If there's somebody that says, hey, wire me money before you do any fact checking or before they even ask you what you're looking for, what's your budget, what are some non-negotiables that you have to have in your new home? Do you need a bigger closet space? Do you need a bigger 100%. Kitchen? Do you want a full-size stackable do you want a stackable washer and dryer? Do you want a full-size washer and dryer? So there's many options that goes into buying a house. And if these people are not asking those questions, then they're probably not the right home builder. If they're just trying to get you the money and get you to the next one.
Yeah. So guys, we want to be the experts in that. We want to make sure that you guys stay protected. And the reason we say this is because no matter if you like wherever you're buying, we want to make sure that number one, do a FaceTime, make sure that they're real. Drive to the location, check out the home, feel it, smell it, touch it.
Look at the quality.
And check out and talk to the owners, talk to the people that are behind it, that are building your home. Make sure the quality is good. What kind of quality materials are they using? Are they using the materials that are going to last a long time for the investment that you're making? That's the most important. So now that we were talking about the story, the lives that, that our line is building dreams, transforming lives. And I think, that's what we love to do. And that's really what drove us to even get, to really take this and to get it out in the world and to share this product, share these homes and experiences with you guys, is because we want to give back to you guys an affordable, a quality home that will last you for a long time. So number 6, I want to go to Trace, and we might not get all these questions done. And if we don't, then we'll just come back next week. What options, if a customer comes in or calls on the phone, says, "Hey Trace, what options do I have as far as customizing my home? I want a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, but I want this. What all options does a customer have as far as for customizing the interior? Or exterior?
Number one, I would highly recommend coming to the factory and come and see me because I'm the floor plan expert. Those Zeke's fine, but come on and see me. But number one, I would just drive down because we got 30 to 40 homes always just sitting on the lot, and you'll have them in 3 different stages of the shell. So we normally have all the siding options, the interior options, and then basically just sitting, if you can bring a sketch of paper or the floor plan of what exactly, the non-negotiables that you're wanting, that's what I would recommend is bringing your sketch, doing a little bit of research, looking.
So what can I do on the inside?
Inside, are you talking about as far as interior finishes?
Yeah, interior finishes. On the walls, can I paint a different color? Can I do handicap shower, handicap toilets? Can I ADA compliance? Can I redo where my bathroom is? Can I add another bathroom? Can I do all these things?
Yeah, that's like you said, we're 100%, not just 100% customizable, but yeah, as long as we get those things. As long
as it makes sense and it's up to code.
And it's up to code.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm talking to Phil. So if you're watching, Phil, we're going to do on offices. So it's for a business. I believe they have a demolition place facility, and they need some offices. Yeah. So he's like, I like that 2-bedroom, the way it's aligned, but I want it more to look as an offices. So basically we're changing it all up. Right now we have a bedroom on each side, and we're going to change it where they come through is their reception area, and then the bedrooms on the backside, bedrooms, they're going to be the main offices. Yeah, so we're going to change everything up. So it's cool.
Basically what you're saying, so we've got people that come in for a home. We got people that come in for an office.
For businesses.
You had a customer come in that bought for one of their employees.
Yeah.
They bought a home for their employees. For a farm. So we got people that come all over for, they're using these for really, housing. We had school teachers
for school housing.
School teachers. Teacher housing. We've had that happen, which has been an amazing experience. Basically, we can do anything custom. I would say we're the number one custom home builder as far as in this space and this niche.
Yeah, I want to touch on what options can you customize. We do have certified floor plans that we say, hey, here's our top 10 major floor plans that people love. Here's the top 10. Yep. And we go through like Zeke said earlier, what size do you guys want? Is it a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom? And then we go and say, all right, these are all of your 1-bedroom options. These are all of your 2-bedroom options. These are all of your 3-bedroom options. The reason that we do that is we start with what we think is the best. Is we want to utilize every single square inch of every floor plan that we do. So we've already done that. And then most people, they come in and say, I like something about that floor plan, and I want to put it in this floor plan. Great, let's do that. And then they come in, I want a farmhouse sink, but I want it white. Okay, we can do that. I want these faucets versus the faucets that you guys use. Great. I want a rainforest shower head to make it an experience versus just a regular shower head that you're going to use in a hotel, right? And so there's all, hey, do you guys want a black toilet or a white toilet? Do you want a tall toilet versus a short toilet?
Yeah, I had a handicap. We did a handicap shower, and then we did a tall toilet for handicapped people.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's all of these options that we look at, but the other thing that we have to look at is your door sizes. Sometimes we have to go down to a 24-inch door to make the space fit, but then if you're ADA compliant, you have to be above 30 inches. 36 inches if you want to just standardize everything. But your floor plans, you have to make sure everything fits, and we try to keep the future in mind. Are you going to put a washer and dryer in, in 5 years, that if you have to replace something? And then, what if your washer and dryer gives out in 5 years, but then the doorway is too small to bring the washer and dryer out? Well, that won't work. So we have to make sure everything that we do custom still works with the bigger picture in mind, to make sure that 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, everything still works and you don't have to tear down your house just to get a washer and dryer out.
Yeah. What I tell most of the people that I help is try it in paper, right? I want my bedroom right here. I want my kitchen right here. And then it's a sketch. I mean, no one's going to be perfect. There's no measurements. And then we send it out to our people that draw our actual plans, get it certified, right? So they verify every little detail in it. And then we send it back to you guys. We're back and forth until we get that floor plan that we need. And then we start
every little detail.
And I think that the biggest thing is, like, most people want granite or quartz countertops. They want to, they can add these options to where it's not just a mobile home with 8-foot ceilings. You walk in there, they have 12-foot ceilings, they have 14-foot ceilings in some. They feel large. And so that's the biggest differentiator, is when we go into these homes, they don't even feel tiny because the ceilings are so tall. And they're like, wow. They're all, every single one is vaulted.
Split, spray foam insulation.
The efficiency, like, Zeke, what's your electrical bill? Less than $100 a month.
Yeah. For
a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. That in today's world is crazy. I looked at my house, my utilities, $412 a month in my house versus $100.
How many square feet?
1,600.
And do you use it?
I use
one of the bedrooms?
1 bedroom.
Out of the 3 bedrooms?
Out of the 3 bedrooms.
I slept in one time.
Yeah.
That's probably the only time you use it.
That's awesome. Well, because I love that, because we had a lot of customers that asked, like, how do we customize these homes?
And the biggest thing is, like, so we had a customer that wanted this 50-piece shower set, and they're like, hey, can you guys install it? Absolutely. So they Amazoned it in. They chose it on Amazon. They had 50 different pieces. We had our plumbers put everything together, and most people, like, if they want something custom, and if you have something that works. Yeah. Ship it into us. We're going to install it.
Yeah, we did one where we stopped at, like, we're going to put the stuff on the walls, and then we're going to stop, and then they're going to put in their own custom cabinets. They're going to put their custom sink and their flooring. So some of our customers are coming in. They want to do some of the things themselves, like put nicer cabinets or cabinets that we don't have. They want to customize, build those themselves. So when you say custom, it really there's tons of different options and ways that we can go. So I would just say, the best thing, like you just said, is come look at all the other ideas that we have of the people that have already built 30. We have over 30 of them always here. Come look at those options, and you can get tons of ideas. First, I want to take a second. If any of these questions, if this makes sense to you, comment down below right now. Comment down below if you have some more questions about our custom homes. If you want to check out our website, saddlebrooklife.com. Everything should be on there. If not, give us a call. Schedule a virtual call with us. If you're not in Texas, we can do a Zoom call. We can do FaceTime, whatever it is, whatever you guys want. Time is going fast. So our question now, I've got a couple more questions. So I'm gonna cut some of them out, and then next week we'll come back to these questions. Where are the Saddlebrook homes? Where are we building our homes now?
We build them here in DeKalb, Texas.
Where the heck is DeKalb, Texas?
So it's very close to Texarkana. It's 2 hours.
I guarantee everybody asks, like, where
There's
is
2
DeKalb,
hours
Texas?
northeast of Dallas.
You say decab or dekalb?
It just depends who you are, right?
It depends on what accent that you have.
Yeah.
There's so many people that call it decab, decalb.
Kalb?
DeKalb.
DeKalb, Texas.
But
I'm not hating, guys. I'm not hating.
But we're in between. We're right at the corner of the 4 states of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. So we're at a strategic place. There's only, I would say, 1,400 people here. And you drive through DeKalb. It's got 2 red lights. And then there's not much.
If you do come, we have a Sonic. And then we do have an amazing Front Street Junction. And then what else?
We actually have a bakery, guys.
What?
Bakery and a coffee shop.
Yes.
Yeah, so a little backstory. Our background is coming from the Amish Mennonite. That's how we grew up. So growing up, my mom always cooked. She always, she was a stay-at-home mom. And she just opened up. Go check them out. The Finest of Wheat. Let me say that again. I'll put the link in the description. The Finest of Wheat. They do all kinds of, trust me, I'm not getting paid to promote this. I'm just telling you guys, the food is amazing. The cinnamon rolls, the bread it's all natural. Like she's doing all the baking
all
herself.
Homemade.
It's all homemade. Go follow her on Instagram or Facebook. TikTok, The Finest of Wheat. And you can actually go on and I think if you call in, you can do an order. Yeah, you can order like fresh bread, wheat bread. So it's actually real bread.
And then if you come here, then you can go over and you can go home. If
you're watching the podcast,
everything that you want.
You come in and you're like, I listened to the podcast. Can I get a free coffee? If you come in and say, hey, you listen to the podcast, I'll get you a free coffee.
I'll get you a free cinnamon roll.
Hey, there's a stipulation to it. The first 10 people get the free coffee. Not you, 100 people that watch this. I'm like, find 100 coffee. The first 10 people that come in and say, hey, I watch your podcast. Not you, Megan. That get a free coffee. Check them out. The Finest of Wheat. My mom's doing it. She's an amazing. She's been an amazing mom.
And just to throw some in there, like she does holiday cooking. Yeah. So if you Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas is coming up, pies, kind of pumpkin pies, any types of cake, bread, anything that you want for holidays. And if you want to show up to a holiday party and you want to be the star of the show, get some and tell everybody that you made it. You can just go ahead and buy some, get something pre-ordered.
Yeah.
And show up to the Christmas party and be like, I'm a great baker now.
Yeah. So guys, that's where we're at. Look it up. DeKalb, DeKalb, Texas.
Zip code is 75559.
Yeah, our zip code is 75559. Check us out. That's where we're located. That's where we built our corporate offices. So if you're looking for a cabin or if you just want to come in, check out our bakery. Get you some good cinnamon rolls, bread, fresh bread, pies. Or if you're not close and you're watching this, you can make an online order and boom, she can ship it over to you. So going on, we got 2 more questions and then we're gonna end this podcast. And so I'm gonna we talked about financing. We talked about 30-year mortgages. So if I'm coming in and I want to do financing, what are the requirements to start the construction, even on the cash sales? Because we do a lot of cash, and so the construction for the financing is different than the cash. So let's first talk to. I just want to pay cash for my house. What's all required for me to start the construction?
So before, and I'm going to say this to everybody, before you start anything, make sure that it's actually what you want to buy. Don't buy something that a salesman is pushing on you just to make them feel good. Like, I'm sure they're great, but make sure it's right for you and your family. That's the number one. The number 2 thing is it in the price budget that it's not going to bankrupt you or your family. That's the other biggest thing. Like if you're spending your entire savings, make sure you have enough for groceries next week.
Yeah.
That's the 2 biggest things is number 1, make sure it's the right one. Make sure that think of 5 years ahead. Are you going to have kids? Is it just you and your husband? What are you going to be doing in the next 5 years? Is what you're buying going to work in the next 5 years? Okay. After we've done all of that, we're going to go over the colors. We're going to go over anything from exterior colors, your door colors, what doors you want, what roof color that you want, your trim color, your siding color, Do you want white windows? Do you want black windows? Do you want windows with or without grids? We're going to go over all of your options. And then if it's a cash sale, we require 50% down. We can lock the price in with a commitment deposit, depending on if we.
And that the commitment deposit, what gets you?
It's just to lock the price in for 30 days.
Okay, locks the price in for 30 days. Okay.
If let's say we're running a promotion until the end of the month, that locks you in if you have to go to your 401k, IRA, anything like that, trust fund to get the money out because it takes time. We understand that. But after the 50% down is we go ahead and order the material. We keep it in our warehouse here, so your material is not going to get warped out in the sun. I was talking to a builder yesterday that's out in California, and it's terrible. They said 60% of all of their studs by the time drywall goes up are either warped or bent, and they can't even fix it because they've already ran their plumbing and electric, and it's impossible to fix it.
Wow.
Versus here, everything is indoors. We're stored everything in climate controlled.
Yep.
So when you put your 50% down, we take that and we go ahead and buy all of your materials, and then we have everything ready before we start the building process. If you have a special cabinet order, if you have a special shower order, toilet, whatever it might be in your custom order, we order the metal by your PO number. We do not store your metal in just bulk. We order the metal per home that we build. Okay, so that's the first. We get 50% down, and we do not ask for anything more until the delivery and everything is you're satisfied, right? So we wait till delivery, and then you walk through it. You give us a thumbs up. You sign the delivery certificate, and then you either wire, give the delivery guys a check, cash, whatever you want to do. On the finance, there's a lot of variables that go into it, but the easiest way to explain it is 13% down. And 3% is the financing fee that we charge, right? And after the 13%, all of your construction costs are included. So you're not going to be paying a monthly interest only on anything. And then the only thing after that is after 90 days, after we deliver your home on the finance, it turns over into a 30-year mortgage, and that's when your monthly payments start. And so in that build process, we get appraisals done, we get surveys if we needed. We get your concrete foundation ready.
Yeah.
We do all of that in the build process, but we hold the construction cost. Everything's in-house on that, on your construction process. We don't charge you a monthly interest on your construction costs, and you don't owe us anything until the mortgage company. Then the mortgage company on the back end, they complete the whole project on the back end. They fund the rest of the project.
So
that's really it's a lot more complicated than that because there's a lot more that goes into that. But that's the easiest way to explain it to listeners. That's the English version.
Yeah. So you guys, if you have any questions, reach out to here. We got two of the home experts, Trace and Zeke. If you have any questions about financing, get on the phone with us. Give us a call. And we'll just talk about like what you're saying, because literally everyone is a little bit different. There's something a little bit different about everyone. So if you have any questions, we can get on. Final question, and I'm trying to decide who has been talking too much versus who hasn't. This is going to go to Trace, and this will be the final question, guys. If you have any comments, comment right now. If you have any questions, that you have that have not been answered, and we're going to do something super simple on our YouTube. We're going to be cutting all these up. That way, if you have a specific one, like how long does it take, you're going to be able to just watch that 5-minute thing about how long does it take to get a Saddlebrook home built. But how is a Saddlebrook home delivered to their property, and what are the things that people need to be prepared for? Because we've done how many homes have you delivered, you think, since you started?
Probably over 1,500, I'd say.
Right. So because we've been delivering ever since we were since 2018. 2019 is really when you got into it, and we were delivering a bunch of them.
Got in some crazy situations.
Up mountains, up things where we went to 2:00 in the morning. So can start off by hey, you come in, they buy the house. what are some of the requirements that they need in order to get the house in?
Depending on the size of the home, let's say you do buy, 1,080 square feet. Most of the time, either the salesman will come out there and do a site check, or they'll send one of the delivery guys, just to make sure that we can get the home in. Some of the
before we start the construction process.
Before we start the construction, just to make sure.
There has been, and I'm not going to cut you off. There has been some instances where we had to refund because we said, "Listen, we're not going to even try because we know it's impossible. So we're going to refund your money," and that's the reason why we do that.
So you were saying, okay, keep going.
Yep. So some of the early steps, we're gonna make sure all the roads around it, make sure we can get permits to it. Is it accessible from the main highway? Is there trim? What limbs do you have to trim? Is
trees in the way?
Yeah. Is there trees in the way? Do you have a solid driveway to get to where the cabin is going? Because if it's going 2 miles in the middle of nowhere, we gotta make sure there's a solid.
So explain why do we want the trees to be trimmed?
If you want a metal roof, if you still want it, your whole roof on it by the time it gets to the property, then.
So the reason is we want to deliver a great product that is not damaged when you get the new home. We want to give you the new home experience, and that's the biggest thing. Is we don't want your home damaged, and just it does happen sometimes. We tell all of our customers to be aware. Mm-hmm. Hey, with delivering 1,080 square foot house down the road, anything can happen. Mm-hmm. Anything that happens on delivery is covered under warranty 100%.
Say we have an amazing warranty.
We do have an amazing warranty department.
Shout out to the delivery guys; they're the best.
And our delivery guys, they are the best. But the reason why we're so adamant about making sure the property is ready is when we get there, our delivery guys they want to deliver a great product that makes it look brand new when they get there. And if they have limbs and trees in the way, let's say if you have you're buying 1,080 square foot, it's 19 foot wide, and you have a driveway that's 16 foot wide. Well, and trees on either side. Well, 9 times out of 10, you won't be able to get into it.
Yep.
And so, then it takes our delivery guys to cut trees, or you have to get a bulldozer out there or a backhoe to chainsaws to get the property in. And we like to have everything set up because we're on a schedule as well.
Correct.
Our delivery guys from Monday through Friday, they deliver every day, and they're also on a schedule. And we have an average time that it takes to set one of these homes up. And like you said, we've been out at properties 2-3 o'clock in the morning
trying to get the home in.
Trying to get the home in because we do not quit. We do not give up.
Yeah. And we've done some crazy things.
We've got crazy stories.
Some crazy stories for another day. But really, honestly, what happens is you come in, you buy the home, we check your property. A lot of times, if it's in the middle of a pasture, if it's in the middle of where we can see, hey, you've got pictures, videos. So if you're coming in, if you have a video, like most people I'll tell, like if you're down a dirt road or if you're down a road and you think that you have trees, take a video from the main road off down to the property. Take a video
all the way down to
all the way down, and then go in where you're going to have it. That way, a home expert like Trace or a delivery person can watch that video and can say, hey, you're going to have to trim this tree. You're going to have to trim this one because if you have a dormer window or if you're 18 foot wide, but you have a limb that's 16 foot wide, it's going to knock it off, right? And then the second thing is once the buying once we started building, we're going to get you to, we're going to say, hey, do you want a concrete foundation? We can do that, or we can show you how to do it. Then it's going to be, hey, purchase your blocks. You're going to get blocks emailed to you, a block sheet, how many cinder blocks to buy. Once you have that, we want to have those blocks out on the property no less than 30 days before delivery. That way, like we said, our guys are on a tight schedule. We want to make sure that we can deliver the home of your dreams and deliver you a great product. Once we get there, we've got different machinery. So if you're buying a shell, we deliver it with a little mule. Otherwise, we've got different machinery for bigger homes, right? How we're getting them in. But the number one thing is the videos. And then if we need to do a site check, we come do a site check. So you just have to request that. But that's really how we deliver these. There's actually some videos on TikTok, but it's really simple if you get prepared for it. There's tons of stuff that we send out to show you how to get prepared for your delivery.
And the biggest thing, if you have any questions, ask the home expert that you bought it from.
Yeah.
And if you just say, hey, I want you guys to come out here, Either they're going to come out with or without a delivery expert as well. And these guys, I mean, they've been on so many deliveries themselves because they have to. They have to know what we can and we can't do.
100%.
And so, like, I try to have every single one of my guys the first 2 weeks that they're onboarding. If they're onboarding with for a home expert, they have to go on delivery for 2 or 3 days minimum of just seeing how everything works.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's so many moving parts. You're moving a home down the road. You're getting into the property. You're getting it set up, and there's a lot of moving parts. But thank you guys. We came to the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for sticking it all the way out. Thank you guys for listening. If this podcast helped you in any way, if it answered any questions, if you have more questions that need to be answered, comment down below or send us a private DM, a direct message on our social media, or just call us. Give us a call. I'll put the number down below for you to give us a call if you have any more questions. But guys, until the next one, number one tiny, I'm messing up. The number one tiny home podcast in the world. Thank you guys. Have an amazing week. See you on the next.
If you enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you have any questions we didn't answer, drop a comment. And guys, tune into next week's episode where we will continue to educate you about the tiny home industry.